What's up, guys? We're gonna brobeatz. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to sauce up your melodies after you've kind of gotten a chord or a foundation down. If you guys haven't subbed already to turn personas, you do so because it does help it a lot. Let's hop right into it. So we go ahead and get started. BPM 150, you know, give or take, whatever. We do 152. And yeah, let's actually grab in a scale. Can't forget that. I'm gonna just run with, let's do like an A sharp minor. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here are the sounds that I'm using. This is like a little custom sound. And I'll probably give away these for free because it's only a few of them. I haven't finished this bank, so I might as well let y'all use these for the tutorial. So for this, I'm gonna try to keep this clean and cut. We can just do the foundation, which is the bass line, and this is going to be literally the most important part. It'll be simple, it'll look simple, but I'm telling you, this is literally if you mess this up, the rest is going to be garbage. So we can go to our little note or our root. It doesn't have to be a root actually, but you want to make a chord from this. So you skip over the note. And usually I just do a dyad, which is just 2 notes. But if you want to do 3, you can. And then you just slide them over. Okay, and then you can have a little bass line going. Okay. But for me, I like going backwards. A lot of y'all know this, so go backwards and then kind of use the mid notes to fill in. And I'm gonna switch the, yeah, I like that one better. So now what we want to do is just kind of spread these out and do something like this. So this will be our bass line or our foundation. So let's go ahead and create chords out of these. All right, so now that we have our foundation, this part will be super easy. And usually I would say, oh, just skip over the note, blah, blah, blah. But I think using the 5th is just easier because it allows you to be more free. So if you use that 5th, and if you don't know the 5th, you just skip 6 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then when you land on that next note, you'll have a 5th. So you can do this anywhere on the keyboard. If you just do that, and then that is the 5th here, right? So you do this everywhere here. So just copy these. Delete that one. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Okay. Now, the only downside to this is you will need to know a little theory so you can know what notes to use in between. For example, this, right, will be a major. So you'll need to know that if you pull this up an octave, that is the sound that you are, you know, forcing upon these chords, right? So you just need to know a little bit of that. But what I'm gonna show you is you can pull these bottom ones up and then move them over. So you just animate them a little bit, and this is going to start to give you a melody that you can kind of work off of rather than like a little blank canvas, right? All right, so now it's kind of like our own melody, and all you have to do is add a few notes. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now I'm going to be showing you the pattern to kind of make a melody out of this easily. So like we did here, right? We just pulled this up an octave. Now we want to take this one and pull it up an octave, except now we're going to pull it up 2 octaves because this is not enough space to work with. So we pull it up 2 octaves so we have all this to work with. All right, so the next step to getting this right, and I'm going to try to zoom in, is you just want to create a rhythm. So you could create any rhythm you want. It's up to you. We could just do a generic one like this. But when you switch keys, so when you go from, so even if you go all the way out here, right, when you switch to the next key or one of these keys, right, here's where you'll do the trick, or not necessarily the trick, but this is where you'll start the next phase. So let's go back to my original. So from here, right, if you choose this note, you will make a chord backwards from this note. Okay, or let's say, let me see. Okay, I like that one. You would make a chord from this one. Skip that note place, and make a chord from this one. Right, you can see it's in harmony. So what you want to do is take one of these lower notes, and usually I do the bottom. You just want to put it somewhere in between these notes, wherever you want. I'm gonna just put it on the grid for bounce purposes, and then you can move these notes over, and now you got you a little melody. Okay, and you can do the same thing over here, except you don't have to do this whole process. You just kind of take and pull from this. So you can do something like this. Actually, let's move it over and place that there. right, and then we could finish it off with this note. Let's bring that D sharp in. Right, so now we have a pretty clean melody. So that is the process. So you don't have to do this whole thing. So like over here, you see we do have the same process. You pull this up, copy it, pull it up 2 octaves. And if you wanted to, you could do the same process, right? You go this note, pretty chord backwards, move this over, right, and then move this over. It'll work, but you can see it's kind of the same exact thing. Right, and I don't really want that personally. So I'm gonna just kind of take this note and just kind of do what I want down here. And I guess we could keep this note in here. Let's put like a F right here. So in between we have that little octave jump. Let's see. And let's make a chord backwards from this note, right? Let's make a chord backwards like that. And I'm just kind of freestyling from here, just picking the notes that I like. And let's kind of mess around with this a bit. Copy this over, put some in between. And then what notes could we use? Let's use this D sharp because that sounded good earlier over here. And then let's just use that C. Okay, and that is the melody. Okay, so now I'm just copy this over. And we could just do this because this already took too long. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And I will pull this up an octave real quick. And I wanted that part to be kind of slow because it's a lot of notes I'm pulling up and you know, making chords and stuff. So I don't want people to get lost. So that is that. And now we can kind of turn this into a beat and go ahead and just use this last sound. All right, and for that second one, this is the sound that I used. And then for this is the sound I'm using for like the lead. And this is just to kind of add some little bit more depth, so it's not just one single melody. And we can go ahead and use, let's use this F. So this little F, because it's kind of in the middle, so it should sound good for a lead. I usually start these on this part. Skip a note there. Okay, so that's gonna have to do for now. That is our little melody. Let's copy it over. Boom. Okay, so that's the lead, and everything else from here should be easy. We're gonna go ahead and add the drums in the 808. All right, so now for the low end, it's pretty easy. I'll probably fast forward through this because it's pretty much just chopping up this entire line for the 808. So the F sharp and the A sharp are what we're gonna be using. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so here is the low end. I'll just show this because the kick is pretty much basic. I'll just probably show this part since it's the most active. All right, that's the low end. So let's go ahead and add our drums in and we can kind of solidify the beat. All right, so for the drums, I'm gonna just keep this quick. So I'm gonna just do like a short little version of it for the pattern. And I just already put like the basic drums in. Like this is like stuff that's super simple. And then for the hi-hat, we just kind of I think that's pretty much it. And I do want to add little effects for the melodies, but I'm gonna keep it simple, so we can just play this real quick. All right, so that's the beat, and of course we could do a lot more and do some mixing and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is just add some effects for like a verse part, and I'll just show you the effects that I used. All right, so I just went ahead and messed around with the melodies a bit. So I put these all into a bus right here, and for these individually, I just leveled them a little bit because there was a little bit of like clashing, and I just took out some of like these harsh, like those harsh, you know, frequencies out of them for the EQs. And then I panned the main one to the left, and then the other was to the right a little bit just to separate them. And then for the actual lead, I put a fast distortion on. Or just to add a little something extra. I mean, this is nothing crazy, it's just something simple, right? And then for the bus, and to be lazy, right, just to have like a verse part so I don't have to actually mess around with the melody, I usually put like shaper box, I put halftime, and then I'll just mess around with the filter, and I didn't feel like doing anything crazy, so I literally just drug this down like that. And then I put on the Valhalla delay 1/4 and just turn the mix down. Just simple stuff. And literally, that literally sounds like a verse part that you could just rap on right there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this. That's gonna be it for this video as well. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.